Ladies and gents, how are you doing? There's a couple of stories I want to talk about today. Turns out that young lass with the axes in Dundee, she's going to need a bigger axe. Yeah, and there's another good one from apparently a reputable source, if you look at the BBC, the Huffington Post, talking about how an MP was given a brutal reality check by a BBC journalist after an on-air bus stop, which perfectly illustrates exactly why the raving lunatics on the left are completely unable to grasp a process as simple as correlating some per capita statistics. So let's get into that. This one is unbelievable. I can't believe anybody with a fully functioning brain typed this up expecting adults to read it. So Kevin Schofield here really does need to have a word with himself. It says, Sarah Porchin, obviously she's back in the news. She made an outrageous claim about Afghans and Eritreans. Really? Outrageous? What was it, Kevin? She said it was a fact that Afghans and Eritreans are more likely to carry out sexual assaults. Doesn't follow that with than who, but let's just assume he means than everybody else in the UK. We won't even pick on foreigners as a class. But BBC Politics Live presenter Vicky Young then produced figures which showed that it was not true. Porchin had made her claim after attending a Reform press conference in which party leader Nigel Farage vowed to crack down on crime if he becomes Prime Minister. The Runcorn and Selby MP said it's a fact that this particular element, particularly Afghan, particularly Eritrean asylum seekers, have a particular problem with sexual assault and violence against women. It is a fact. And as other panellists challenged her, Porchin repeated, it's an absolute fact. It's a fact. It's reported that as a percentage of the population, they are far higher to offend. Well, far more likely, yeah. Turning to another guest on the programme, the MP said, you can turn your nose up. It's people like you in denial that put women like me at risk. I love that. Very forthright. When you know you're right, when you know you're spitting facts out, don't let them sneer at you. Don't let them look down on you. Don't let them twist the face up. Just tell them, listen, your cowardly denial of the real world puts women and girls at risk. So you can pull as many faces as you like. You big, fat, purple-haired deviant. They always are, aren't they? They always are. Later in the programme, Vicky Young told Porchin, can I give you some context, please, around what you're talking about, the Afghan and Eritrean sexual assault convictions. They committed 129 offences over 3 years, and that is out of a total number of convictions where the nationalities are known of 16,700. So that is the context around the numbers. I think we should deal in facts. And that's it. Presented like that, as if that's a game, set and match. That's some sort of legendary argument. They committed 129 offences over 3 years. So what? I'd like to know where and when, what 3 years and in what area. But ultimately, Eritreans aren't really a significant percentage of the population, are they? So again, per capita is not rocket science, is it? And yet, you've all seen the numbers published from Restore Britain, sourced by the Centre for Migration Control, which proves demonstrably, this is obviously where she got the numbers from, that yes, indeed, Afghans, Eritreans, Namibians and people from Chad are between 40 and 60 times more likely to commit offences than people from the UK. That's the number at the bottom. So it is a fact, and everybody knows it. And being willfully ignorant of how per capita works is a smooth-brained attempt to gaslight normal people that are slightly better at maths than the gibbering simpletons that run the media class in the UK. Right, so that was easy, wasn't it? Let's get to the next one, shall we? I'm sure you all remember this one, when a very base Scottish girl, a remarkably wise 12-year-old, whipped out an axe because she was being approached by some slightly creepy foreign gentleman. You all remember that, don't you? Obviously, she was the one who got arrested. Well, look what was on the BBC today. Diddler gang jailed for struggle-snuggling 10 women in the exact same town where that young lassie was videoed. Amazing. A foreign diddler gang led by a winking, smirking pimp has been jailed for doing the obvious to 10 women in flats across Dundee. So this was probably one of the blokes that was approaching her. The 4 men and 1 woman plied the victims with drugs at various properties, ringleader Marian Campasu, along with Remus Uwalentu, Dobre and Berganui. Again, like, what's the point even trying to read the names out? They shouldn't even be there in the first place. What are they doing in Dundee? What do they bring to the table? Who working for the state sees a bunch of blokes, hairy arse blokes, one of them with an upside down head, and says, these guys will be an absolute boon to Scotland? What a marvellous idea, bring them over. Judge Lord Scott said the number of the group deflected and minimised their offending. They offered them unending supplies of crack cocaine and exploited them for their own sexual gratification and financial gain. Wonderful. Oh yeah, and there's another headline. Met Police reviewing another 9,000 cases in London. And guess who did all of that diddling? So there you go, no understanding of per capita statistics by the media, and then obviously proven completely wrong by a 12-year-old with an axe. This is how incompetent or purposely malevolent, I suspect it's the latter, the people that run the media classes, the politicians, the councillors, the absolute scum that rule with an iron fist in the UK, shown up by a 12-year-old girl. So this video goes out to her. Salute to you, bonny lass. Might I suggest you might have to buy a bigger axe, because if you think it stops with that lot, you are very sadly mistaken. All right, that's me for the day, ladies and gents. If you want to leave a comment down below suggesting that it's not a good idea to tool yourself up if you're a 12-year-old in the UK, please let me know. You've obviously got some cast iron knickers on, so you let me know down in the comments. All right, see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.